Hello, this is Harry. Welcome again to A Senior's Perspective with a Twist. I'm going to be talking about albums. Albums that us seniors may remember, or songs, I should say, that are on these albums that were written a long time ago, uh, more than 40 years ago. Well, I mean, if you add it, 60 years ago when they originally came out. But I've been talking about this in some of my other videos that I was going to review or show some albums that had come out. Uh, Matter of fact, that I had purchased. So that's what we're going to see, these albums. But first, I want to show you some things about this. I purchased this because I used to do a lot of estate sales and garage sales. This is from the DIR back then, Broadcasting Corporation, 32 East Second, East 57th Street, New York, New York, and then of course Attention Affidavit Department, whoever that is. And what I have here is the original. This is the original uh, box of records, and it has a cover page here. June. I'm going to read it because I think it's important. June 1985. Now, some of these songs you'll recognize when I get to that, but it's Dear Program Director. Uh, Let me say this: these songs were played at a on a certain day. It was they arrived on June 1985. You can see that at the top left. They were to be played, I believe, on July 4th of 1985. So that makes sense that they would come early to a radio station. But it says, "Dear Program Director, enclosed is your copy of From Britain with Love." That's what I haven't said about Britain with Love, 1985, the continuing story of the British invasion. Now, this British invasion, there were two of them. The first one was in the 60s, talking about those bands that came out of England, Britain. And the second one was in the 80s. So this is the second British invasion. The continuing story of the British invasion. This 12-hour radio event includes great music and fascinating stories from the legends of British rock, from the Beatles in 1964 with John Lennon to Julian Lennon in 1985. From Britain with Love, 1985, offers you and your listeners this rare opportunity to relive the history of the British invasion from its beginning right up to the present, right up to 1985. You will find the show outlined in an hour by hour cut cue sheet, which includes the national and local spot placements with each hourly segment. The national sponsors are Dr. Pepper, Toyota, Heineken. Due to an unforeseen scheduling error, this show contains several 30-second Heineken announcements. If this causes you any problems, please notify us immediately. For your convenience, there is an hourly tune list of the show enclosed. Kindly return the affidavit in the enclosed envelope. I think I showed you that at the beginning, to the DIR Station Relations Department. It is necessary that the DIR receive this affidavit immediately after you have aired the show, and your cooperation is appreciated. From Britain with Love, 1985, the continuing story of the British invasion is a very special 12-hour of programming we feel will be the highlight of the 4th of July holiday. We're pleased to provide this show to you and your listeners, and we welcome any comments and feedback you have to offer. Best regards, Tim Mulligan, producer. So that was the cover page to these radio stations at the time. And this box was a prize to the listeners. I don't know how, and this was done, but this man that I bought these from, I paid $50 for him. I tried to get him for less, but he wasn't having that. He said I can't take any less than $50 for him. So I paid him $50. I scooped them up, took them home. They've been in my home. That's been several years ago. They've been put away. So here's this affidavit, the continuing British invasion, and then call letters, frequency. I ain't going through all of that, but I just want to read some of these things for you. That again, here's that letter that the radio station was supposed to complete this paperwork here, and when they were done filling in whatever they want, then they were to send it back to the DIR, New York. And then got hour 1, 2. I'm not going through all that stuff on there. Hour 3, 4. Next page. And then hour 5 and 6 are on this page. 5, 6, and then 7, hour 8. This is all original. This is what came in the box. Hour 9, hour 10, hour 11, and 12. And then we get down to the songs and the list. In hour 1, just to show you the songs that came out of England, or, this British invasion. All My Lovin' by the Beatles. She Loves You, yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that song, the Beatles. Roll Over Beethoven, the Beatles again. I Want to Hold Your Hand, the Beatles. Hippie Hippie Shake, I'm not sure about that. The Swinging Blue Jeans. Glad All Over, I remember that, the Dave Clark 5. Do You Want to Know a Secret? Billy J. Kramer, don't remember that. Bits and Pieces, Dave Clark 5. I Want to Be Your Man, Rolling Stones. Time Is on My Side, I remember the Rolling Stones with that. Please Please Me, the Beatles. How Do You Do It? I remember that. Jerry and the Peacemakers. A World Without Love, Peter and Gordon, I remember that. A Hard Day's Night, the Beatles again. And then hour 2, Gary and the Peacemakers, Don't Let the Sun Catch You Crying. House of the Rising Sun, the Animals. Tell Me Why, the Beatles. Do What Diddy, the Dave, is that the Dave? No, Because is the Dave Clark 5. I thought Do What Diddy was the Dave Clark 5. Anyway, a summer song, and it goes on down. I'm going to just do the highlights. As Tears Go By, Rolling Stones. You Really Got Me, the Kinks. I remember them. And then Love Potion, number 9. That the Searchers. Okay. Downtown, Petula Clark. Remember that. Tell Her No, the Zombies. All these songs are on all these 24 albums. And I'll show them shortly. Jerry and the Peacemakers, A Ferry Across the Mersey. Yeah, I remember that. I'm Telling You Now, Freddie and the Dreamers, don't remember that. Go Now, the Moody Blues, don't remember that. Game of Love, I remember that. Wayne Fontana and the Mindbenders. Mrs. Brown, You Got a Lovely Daughter. Yeah, I remember that. Herman's Hermits. For Your Love, the Yardbirds. Satisfaction, the Rolling Stones, I remember that. You Turn Me On, Ian Whitcomb. And then we come to hour 3. I'm just going over what's on all in this box, these different songs. Henry VIII, Herman's Hermits, I remember that. Help, the Beatles, remember that. I think there was a movie about Help, called Help, if I'm not mistaken. Catch Us If You Can, Dave Clark 5, don't remember that. Yesterday, remember that, by the Beatles. Get Off My Cloud, remember that, Rolling Stones. Day Tripper, Beatles, remember that. Woman, Peter and Gordon. Nowhere Man, the Beatles. Groovy Kinda Love, the Mindbenders. Painted Black, the Rolling Stones. Peepers, stop. My dogs want something, I don't know. You Don't Have to Say You Love Me, Dusty Springfield, Pied Piper, Wild Thing, the Trogs, I remember that. Sunshine Superman, don't remember that. Bus Stop, the Hollies. Winchester Cathedral, I remember that. The new vaudeville. Mellow Yellow, I remember that. Donovan, excuse me. And then Ruby Tuesday, Rolling Stones. Penny Lane, the Beatles. I'm a Man, the Spencer Davis Group, don't remember that. Whiter Shade of Pale, Procol Harum, I remember that. Big hit. From My Friends, the Beatles, don't remember that. Carrie Ann, Holly, don't remember that. Brown Eyed Girl, remember that. Van Morrison. And then To Serve With Love, Lulu. There's a movie, To Serve With Love, with Sidney Poitier. Itchy-Coo Park, Small Faces, I don't know what that's about. Martin Quinn, Manfred Mann. And then we get down to the 6th hour. Ballad of Bonnie and Clyde, Georgie Fame. Jumpin' Jack Flash, live, Rolling Stones. Hurdy-Gurdy Man, Donovan. Sunshine of Your Love, Cream. Hey Jude, big hit for the Beatles. Revolution, the Beatles. And then Fire, Arthur Brown, don't remember that. We're getting close. A lot of songs, a lot of different artists here. Those Were the Days, Mary Hopkin, Time of the Season, the Zombies, the Beatles, Get Back, I remember that. Honky Tonk Woman, the Rolling Stones, Give Peace a Chance, the Plastic Ono Band. I think that's got to do with John Lennon, maybe. Something, the Beatles, Whole Lot of Love, Led Zeppelin, Let It Be, Beatles, Come and Get It, Badfinger, Instant Karma, John Lennon, All Right Now, Free, and then George Harrison, My Sweet Love. Yeah, that was a hit for him. Your Song, Elton John. And then Domino, Van Morrison, Uncle Albert, Admiral Hazley, Paul and Linda McCartney, don't remember that. Maggie May, live, Rod Stewart, yeah, I remember that. Something about going to school and she jacked him up, according to him. Father and Son, Cat Stevens, remember that. Crocodile Rock, don't remember that. Daniel Live, Elton John, I remember that. I'm on a plane or something. Alone, again, Naturally, Gilbert O'Sullivan, I remember him. Layla, Eric Clapton, not sure about that. Badge, Live, The Rainbow Concert, Changes, David Bowie. Then hour 9, Angie, The Rolling Stones, Photograph, Ringo Starr, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, that was a hit for Elton John. Band on the Run, Paul McCartney and the Wings, that was a fast-moving song. Might have been in the movie too. I don't know. Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Bad Company. Don't know that. Okay. Next to the last page. Whatever Gets You Through the Night, John Lennon. It's Only Rock and Roll, the Rolling Stones. I'm Not in Love, 10cc. Fame, I remember the big hit for David Bowie. Money, Pink Floyd. Killer Queen by Queen. Let 'Em In, Paul McCartney and Wings. Don't Bring Me Down, ELO. Tonight's the Night, Rod Stewart, I remember that. Blinded by the Light, Manfred Mann. Year of the Cat, Al Stewart. Who Are You, The Who. Sister Disco, The Who. Dire Straits, I remember the group but not the song. Sultans of Swing. Hour 11, With a Little Luck, Paul McCartney. Just Like Starting Over, John Lennon. All Those Years Ago, George Harrison. Another Brick in the Wall, Pink Floyd. Start Me Up, that was a hit for Rod Stewart. I think that's who in the Rolling Stones. No Peepers, no, go away. In the Air Tonight, Phil Collins. Don't Stand So Close to Me, live, Police. Don't remember that one. I do remember this one. Every Breath You Take, The Police. Let's Dance live, David Bowie. The Reflex live, Duran Duran. Is There a Difference, Howard Jones. I don't. Sea of Love, Honey Drippers, Radioactive, The Firm. Don't remember them. And then the last page. From Britain with Love, the continuing British story, invasion, Hour 12, Forever Man Live, Eric Clapton. Just Another Night, Mick Jagger, don't remember that. Blue Jean, David Bowie, don't remember that. Missing You, John Waite. Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Tear for Fears. Smooth Operator, I think I'm saying this name, Sada, Sadi. I don't know how you say that. That's a woman, I do know that. And Smooth Operator was a hit for her. The Other Me, Paul McCartney. Too Late for Goodbyes. So those are the pages that we have of all these songs. And then here is just a few. I'm not going to pull them all out. Just want to show you these have not been played by me, and the man admitted that he had not played them. But this is that box of albums that I was talking about in other videos that I would show. These are just some of them. There's 24 of them in here. I'm going to be careful how I handle them because I don't want anything to happen to them. These are all promotional. They don't have the individual songs listed on them. And this note that I have on here, right here, was I had a person who does appraisals and has TV, or appears on TV. And the person's name is Dr. Lori. I don't know, maybe some of you have heard of her. Well, she came to my home and did some appraisals of different items that I have, and she put that $5 per record. If I was to sell them, she said that would be what, and that's several years ago. And I think like this, as time passes on, stuff increases in value. So that's how I look at that. But that's what I wanted to show, this box of albums that I had bought, and from a yard sale. I went into the man's garage because he had stuff outside, but also inside. He had stuff, I think, on the lawn, but he had stuff in his driveway, but he had items in his garage. So I went into his garage, and that's when I saw this box, and I opened it up and looked at them and albums, and it hit me immediately. Ask about them, so I did, and like I said, he said he would take no less than $50 for them. So I couldn't bring him down any further, so I went on and purchased them, and they've been with me since then. So, with that being said, that's what I wanted to talk about today, is my box of the second British invasion of albums that I have in my collection of records. So I say thank you for watching. If you have any comments, I welcome them. If you have not subscribed, I ask that you would subscribe to my channel. And I say thank you and have a good day.